Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 5th, 2022. And this is my trading session this morning, but what I'm doing is something a little bit different than I normally do. Normally, I just record the trading session while I'm trading because I do like to give kind of that live perspective. But the way I trade sometimes can make that very boring. um, and I trade pre-market, so there's not always great setups pre-market. Most of the time I trade pre-market anyways. And my trading, I only go for 2 winners, 40 ticks a day. 40 ticks a day and 3 total trades. That's my strategy. But sometimes there can be extended periods of time where I'm not taking a trade. Maybe the market doesn't look good. So I know my videos can get kind of long sometimes. I've even had some that were an hour long and I didn't even take a trade, which you could still pick up some things on how I'm reading the market for my low risk entry trades, because I'm still calling it out as I'm reading it and all that. But sometimes there's just nothing going on and there's nothing to talk about. And because I'm recording live, I feel like I have to be saying something. So I'm just kind of rambling. So I'm going to try it this way. I recorded my session already that I traded this morning. I finished, and now I'm just kind of going to do a voiceover about what happened. That way I can pause, fast forward, and all that, and try to cut down that time and just fill you in with what I did, why I did it, and just kind of get to the point. So hopefully this is better. So we'll see. All right, so this is 8:40 in the morning, as you'll see here, down here, 8:40 pre-market NASDAQ NQ. Okay, you're looking at my 10-tick chart. I'm going to go ahead and hit play here. You're looking at my 10-tick chart because this is where I base most of my trades on, because I'm only going, especially pre-market, I'm just shooting for 20 ticks on a winner. My stop loss is 20 ticks, so it's 20-20 either way. And I'm going for 2 winners, 40 tick total, 3 trades total. If I get 2 losers, then I stop. That's it. That's my money management. And so that's why I look at this 10 tick chart here. I also watch a 30 tick chart, a 50 tick chart, and then my simplicity chart, which you'll see some of those pop up here after I take a trade. But right now, what I'm looking at is you can clearly see that there's a choppy range going on, right? And this is what I like to look. Let me pause. See, this is why I like doing this way. You can almost see like an imaginary line here, right? Market came up, did this little bit of range, a little bit of chop, came up. But look, here's kind of a bottom right here, right? Market came up, ran, shot down, pulled back up, and look, testing that bottom. Down, right back up, down, right back up. So I love these for LREs. If there was a simplicity short going here, pull back to test this bottom, and then go short. I love those. So I look, you can always kind of see this imaginary line right here going across. You see that? So I watch those all the time because the market always, not 100% guaranteed, but pretty much always does this right here. And this is what Lori calls a lazy Z, pretty much. If you look at it, it's a Z like this, but kind of sideways. So she calls it a lazy Z. Good way to remember it. So anyways, just wanted to point that out. So I'm waiting for it. And you can see here's another bottom. It's hitting this wall, this cyan wall, multiple times. Now we have another top here. So it's kind of ranging in between, right? Then kind of messy, choppy. We see these yellow clusters here. So right now at this point, I'm waiting for a breakout. Where am I waiting for my breakout? Either below this wall or above this here. And I want to break out to run down a good little, pretty good little ways here, right? And then pull back and either test this or test something, something else down here, or give me an HD or something, on the 30 ticks, something. But I want it to break out, run down, pull back, give me something that looks nice along with an LRE to go back short for 20 ticks. That's it. That simple. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. We're just waiting for this to break out. Okay, here we go. It's breaking out now. Okay. Now it's pulling back. Look where it's pulling back to. This bottom. So I'm already eyeing this, okay? I'm going to pause it here. We have HD, right? This is above 125%. It's not beautiful because it kind of chopped around here, but then it broke out. It did leave a mini magnet here, but, you know, all I'm going for is 20 ticks anyways, which is 5 points on the NASDAQ. So from right here, 420.25, all it needs to go down to is 415.25, and that's my profit. So what I'm already looking at, as this ran down and starts pulling back up, I'm watching my simplicity chart. If it gave me an LRE at this wall, that's where I want to take it, especially if we have HD here. That's where I would love to take it. So we wait to see it pull back, and then we see if it gives us a LRE entry. And that's what I'm looking for. So it's pulling back now. And it didn't give us anything. Okay, so I didn't take anything. It didn't give me an LRE entry. Okay, so, but this is where I would have loved an LRE to be, right in here. And then, so you can see, so before, you know, even when the market's back here, and before I even have an LRE entry, I already know where I want my LRE. And then all I do is just wait for the simplicity chart to confirm, yep, here's an LRE entry where you wanted it, then I take it. If it doesn't, I don't take it. Just like here, it didn't give it. Okay, so now I'm waiting again. We have ODD here, right? So it went lower, made a lower low, barely, but it made a lower low, 48%. It's building a little bit, but it's half the volume, right? 48%. We have a trapped X box forming. Don't know if it'll form or actually go or not. We do have some coil chopping here. If I was taking a sniper trade, I'm not too certain I would want to take this because of the coil chop. But, I only look for LREs anyways. Personal preference. But you do have big hill, little hills. So that's always good. So, but this just broke out. So, and then we had HD. I would be willing to bet this probably is not going to end right here as I'm watching. Right? As I'm watching this. Obviously, I know what's going to happen already because I already traded this. But I'm speaking as if I was live trading and watching this. So now we got a little come back down to this magnet. We're going to wait. So now I'm waiting again. I need it to break out further, right? Because that's what I want it to do. I don't want it to, chop around here and go back up. I either want it to break out further, or if it comes back up, give me something nice off this wall again. And fast forward just a little bit here. Okay, see it's chopping. Oh, I pulled up the simplicity chart here so we can see. Because it got close back here, but it never got. So right here, I was wanting it to pull up a little bit more and give me another HD so I could take it back down to this magnet, but it never got close enough, right? So it needs to be within 2 points of the previous solid line, which would have been back here. So this was like 422, something in that area. And this only got to about 417, 18. Right here, the price. So we didn't really get there. So I didn't take it. Also, we had a lot of chop forming. When this starts getting choppy, I stay out. Very simple. Okay. So now I'm waiting and breaking out. Okay. So now as it's breaking out again, this is what I want it to do. This is what I want it to do. I want it to break out. It may hit the wall. It may hit the dev. But I wanted to pull back up to around this area again and take another short back down if it gives me a good simplicity LRE entry. And also if, I see something else like HD or something going on. Okay, so it's coming down, hit the wall. Okay, pulling back up. So I'm already eyeballing this area up here to see if we get anything. Okay, it's coming up. All right, it didn't give me anything. So now breaking through the dev. So now we have ODD again off of this area and we're at the dev. So I'm already immediately thinking in my head, okay, this could start chopping, right? This could chop here. So let's see what happens. Now it's pulling up. If now what I'm thinking, even though we have this ODD here, we're building up a lot of HD, right? 222%. So in my head, what I'm thinking, okay, if this can pull up, not go higher than the previous high here, but still have HD and give me an LRE entry, that could be enough for me to take it back down. And I have enough room for my 5 points here. So let's see what happens here. But that's what I'm thinking in my head. Okay, see, there's not quite enough room yet here, and I need this to come up further, most likely for a LRE. But what I'm doing too on these videos, if after I take my trade, if I didn't take the trade, that means there was not an LRE. If I took the trade, then there was an LRE. So here we go. I just hopped in, have an LRE, bunch of HD going on here. My profit is just above this wall in these clusters and dev right here. So a good chance with this HD is going to come down, back down to this wall, hit this dev, these clusters. And I always grab my stop here when I'm in the trade, and I just hover. See, I'm hovering one tick in front of my entry. That way, if this gets really close down here and starts to reverse, I just drop my stop there, and I'd rather break even than potential loser. And there we go. 20 tick winner right there. Okay. So let's fast forward here. And I need to... Okay. So here is the simplicity chart. Came up. I could have taken the LRE a few ticks further back, but with that HD building up there, I went ahead and hopped in. Sometimes these LREs, you can't time them exactly perfect. Hopped in, had plenty of room, went down, and got it. And then here is the 30 tick chart. Came down, pulled up. We had these COIs here. So it was enough. I mean, it could have chopped around here, but, sometimes this gives us enough to come back down. But, I mean, there wasn't too much on the 30 tick that told me anything here. Okay, now we're going to wait. So I took that one. Now I have to wait. So because that was already way down in the trend, I wanted to wait until simplicity reset and gave another simplicity trade, because went way down, pulled up, got an LRE. here it kind of flipped green, so I want it to go back and either go on another run one way or the other before I look for another LRE. So now it's breaking short again. Okay. Breaking short, same thing. As it's breaking short, what am I looking for? Looking for a run down, pull back to something. Preferably like right here where this bottom was. And give me something that tells me it's going to keep going down. Okay, here it comes and hits this wall dynamic magnet. That's a very strong level here. And then it broke it. And it broke through this dynamic magnet. So this is a strong run down. Price is just coming down. So when it has this long of a rundown, rarely is it just going to pull back this little bit here, right? So I'm already eyeing this level right here, this dynamic magnet and wall. And if it gives me an LRE here, there's enough room to take it down before it hits this dynamic magnet here. So, and this is not HD because this is the first pullback. So I'm not looking at it as an HD because see, this is a higher high, pulled back, higher here, and then ran down, got a little bit of chop, ran down, never had a pullback, just ran straight down. So now, even though this is building, it's just looking like it might bounce and go down here, I'm still expecting for it to pull back higher. It could run down, but that wouldn't be an LRE entry for me. So now it's pulling up, coming to my target. I'm eyeballing this area here, looking for an LRE. Looks like the simplicity chart will be forming an entry here. And there it is. Hit that wall. Dynamic magnet. I got in. It did pull back a little higher and it got pretty close. Look, it got within 15 ticks. Well, which is within 5 ticks of my stop. Very close. But here we also had some other things on the 30 tick as well. And we have a star low volume 6 here. But this wall dynamic magnet is a strong level. So this one kind of chopped a little bit. It didn't go as fast. And because I have this level here, I would not want to move to break even because I would prefer to move my stop to behind the wall. Maybe cut down my risk a little bit behind the wall. But if I put it to break even, now unless if it got like within 1 tick of my profit, then I would move to break even or behind the wall. But see, it's taking a little bit of time here for the win, and then it goes down and grabs the win. A lot of times this will come back down to this previous bottom here. So, you could move your target down here and just kind of try to trail it. But I don't. That's not part of my money management. And this may even come down to the wall and dev here, but it might not. See? So, and that's the risk. If I would move my profit target here, down here, and try to trail it, well, this is right back to where my exit was anyways. Here's the simplicity chart. Here's my LRE entry. Got in right here. Profit target. And then there is my 30 tick chart. Right here was a SLZ. See, there's HD on the 30 tick chart right here. SLZ off that wall too. Beautiful. If you don't know what any of these things are that I'm talking about, SLZ, LRE, all that good stuff, then what you need to do is go to apexinvesting.com/bootcamp. Sign up for the bootcamp. They'll teach you, it's free for the first 30 days, no credit card needed. They'll teach you how to read all this and trade futures. It's an amazing program. It's Apex Investing. And that's it. This is my trading session this morning. So I hope everybody has a great day. See you on the next one.